Hello to my kings, queens, and in-betweens. I'm Valerie, and welcome to my channel, The Bookish Valkyrie. So it has been a long time since my last upload, which was back in the middle of November, and we're at about the middle of April right now, so that puts us at like 5 months. Long story short, I just had a round of health issues that just didn't leave me with the energy to participate in anything really. And then on top of that, I just didn't know how to pick things up and start again. I had quite a few false starts where I would start vlogging something and then decide against using that vlog for one reason or another, technical difficulties, or that it had just taken me too long to get around to editing, or I just kind of hated the end result. And I don't really foresee this particular go-round going any smoother, but I'm hoping. If you're watching this, you know how it went. I really do think this time, though, we're getting back on the horse. So it is the beginning of April, which means that we are beginning the 30 and 30 challenge, which is a reading challenge that is hosted by Izzy from Happy for Now, Shay from Shay Geeks Out, Bree from The Locked Booktician, and Ashley from the Realm of Comics and Kidlit. So the basic premise of 30 and 30 is that you are meant to read 30 manga or graphic novels within the course of April 1st through April 30th. I have never participated in this particular challenge before, partly because I never really owned enough volumes of manga and graphic novels to really justify trying to read 30 and 30. My manga collection has grown quite a lot over the last few years, and I have quite a few volumes that have been sitting on my Kobo and on my shelf for an extended period of time, some of them for quite a long time. So this felt like a really good time to join that challenge, and my participation in this challenge felt like a good time to try once again to jump back into BookTube again. We'll see how it goes. I don't have any set plans for how many videos I'm going to be uploading however often. I think that those particular goals for my ADHD brain just sort of became too heavy of a focus, and I just didn't get anything done. I feel like if I remove those kinds of set expectations from something that's meant to be a fun hobby, then I will be less likely to get anxious and trash whatever I have filmed. Again, wish me luck. We'll see how it goes. And on top of doing 30 and 30, this vlog will also be coinciding with my going out on the road with my husband, who is a trucker, for the second time. The first time was over Christmas, and I did zero filming or attempts at filming in December. So yeah, the next clip should be of me on the road getting ready to dig into manga. See you in a minute. Hello, Editing Val here. I'm going to be doing a voiceover for all of my on-the-road updates because apparently my mic that I am using for these updates was faulty. So here I am updating you about my first manga that I completed for the challenge, and that is Dysfunctional Family Theory. It is a 2-volume series, and at least so far I believe there's a 3rd volume coming out later, but I had a really good time with it. Basically it is a BL manga, and these 2 men each had a relationship with the same woman about the same time, and she has passed away and left a daughter behind who could potentially be either of their daughter. So she tells them that she doesn't want them to do a DNA test. What she would prefer is for them to spend time with the daughter, spend about a month with the daughter, and afterwards let the daughter choose who she wants to be her father. And so they both decide to go ahead and go along with her dying wishes, and family dynamics and shenanigans ensue. And while I enjoyed both volumes, I only gave the first volume a 3.75 because it was fun, but I didn't really connect with it. However, by the time I got to the end of the second volume, I was sold and I gave that volume 5 stars. That is the volume where the relationship between the two men really takes off, and the storyline itself took off. And while I think that a third volume is called for, it's not necessary. If that's where it ends, that's fine. And moving into the next manga that I'm going to be reading, the guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. This is actually a reread for me. I read this series on digital in January, and I really loved it, and so I had to buy it physically. I love the bright green backgrounds with the black and white drawings. It's very striking, and I'm super excited to dig into it again. As the title implies, our main character is a girl who has fallen in like with a guy who works at the record store she likes to go to, and as it turns out, he's not a he at all. He's actually a girl who sits next to her in class in high school, and shenanigans ensue from there.
Every night, every night, every night are we paradise, paradise seems so far away. Still I try to buy myself some time to get me to that place. All I want is you. Staying up till we want to. Tell you what, I bet that we could see it new. I wanna let you, nothing to do. Let's go while our worries away. I know that it takes two to get the truth. Tell me, baby, what do you say? 'Cause we were just friends, and now it's something far over. And I bet that we could find a way closer. Never wanted to put all of this in your head, but I guess in that we're only friends. But I guess in that we're only friends.
Hello, we are jumping back in at the end of the next day for our next update. At this point, I have finished reading the first 2 volumes of The Guy She Was Interested In Wasn't a Guy at All, and it is even better than I remember the second time through. I'm loving it so much that I think it might actually be my next heart stopper, but make it sapphic. It's bringing me so much joy to be revisiting this series, and I cannot wait to jump into the 3rd volume. So I am probably going to do that next, and I'll catch up with you again in the next clip.
Sunshine, sunshine, sunshine. I think I found it now. What I've been looking for. Isn't it beautiful? It's got my head all up in the clouds. I think I found it now. Everything I want might be a miracle. I know I'm never coming down. I don't gotta worry about a single thing. I can feel the light coming down on me. Sunshine on my face. I got sunshine on my face. I don't gotta care in the world right now. Higher than the ceiling, breaking through the clouds. Sunshine on my face. I got sunshine on my face. Yeah, I got sunshine. I got sunshine. I got sunshine. I gotta let you know, it's so incredible. I'm finally letting go.
Hello, this is the third and final update on the road. So the next clip will be a wrap up of my reading week, and thank you for putting up with these voiceover updates. So I have finished the third volume of The Guy She Was Interested In Wasn't a Guy at All, which is the last volume that is currently out in English. There is a fourth volume out in Japanese, and I don't have a date yet for when it comes out in English, but I have my fingers crossed that it is soon because I just really, really need to dive into it. There is a cliffhanger at the end of the third volume that is just kind of heart-wrenching because you just don't know what's coming next. If you have not read this series yet, the way that I would advise you to read it is to read volumes 1 and 2 together, because there's a little bit of a cliffhanger at the end of volume 1 as well. And then hold on to volume 3 until the fourth volume comes out so that you can read those together. I'm not sure how many volumes are going to be in this series, if it's going to end with the fourth volume or if it's going to continue from there. However, with where the third volume ends, I wouldn't be surprised if the fourth volume is the final one in the series. So yeah, I will see you in the next update. Clearly I am back home. It's been a couple of days, but it's just that's how long it's taken me to find a quiet moment to do an update. So anyway, while I was on the road, I did finish reading the 3 volumes that are currently out in English for The Guy She Was Interested In Wasn't a Guy at All. I really don't think I went over the premise of this series, although I do think that the title is pretty self-explanatory. But just to briefly go over what this series is about, these 2 characters are classmates in high school. So this girl works in her uncle's record shop in school because of past issues. She likes to lay low and not really draw attention to herself, and her personal style would, at least in Japanese schools, draw attention to her. So she tends to try and keep her personal style to outside of school, and when she is in a public space like her uncle's shop, she wears a face mask and covers her hair in hopes of not being recognized by any high school students that might potentially come into her uncle's shop. And it's a very effective thing, as her schoolmate does come into the shop, immediately starts crushing on her, thinking that she is a guy. And within the first book, a lot has taken place. It's not nearly as slow moving as a lot of older manga tend to be, because the misconception is cleared up within the first volume, and you see at least the beginnings of the fallout from that misconception here. And the following volumes cover more of that through line and their friendship / relationship situation. Their situation, yeah. As they work their way through their messy high school feelings. And It is just so adorable. Definitely my favorite graphic novel series since Heartstopper. And depending on where future volumes of this go, it could possibly even usurp Heartstopper in my heart. I don't know. We'll see. Or, I don't know, make its own home there. Regardless, I very much recommend the series for anybody looking for some sapphic manga or graphic novel representation. It's fantastic. Definitely my favorite series of the year so far. Probably, I'm guessing, my favorite series of the year, period, end of story. And between while I was on the road and the last 2 days at home, I also finished volumes 2 through 4 of Hirano and Kaguya. This is a spin-off of this series, which I can't remember the names, but that it is a series that is also an anime. So if you're looking for that, it's on Crunchyroll. I am not as enchanted with these characters as I was with the characters in the main series. So I don't know. I gave it an average of like 3.5 to 4 stars. So far, there is at least one more volume coming out. And I think I'm going to wait and see if it actually finishes with volume 5, or I don't know, see how many volumes I can expect. Because if it's going to be a really long series, I think I may be finished with it. If it's going to be done in a volume or 2, I think maybe 3 more volumes is my max at this point. Then I'll finish the series. But it is definitely entertaining and cute, and I enjoyed it while I had it. I don't think I will ever own a physical set of it unless the next volumes are ones that I can find like on Pango for less than what the digital copies cost, which I very much doubt, because the physical copies, at least for this series, tend to be pretty inexpensive. Like I've been finding them between like $4 and $7 at the max. So it's cute, but not really my cup of tea. Mostly I picked them up because they were a spinoff of a series that I enjoyed, and the volumes were fairly inexpensive on digital. So that brings me current with today. I am, so as of today, I am 8 books for 8 days on my 30 and 30 manga reading journey. So I have kept up. I haven't really managed to pull ahead. I am hoping that I'll manage that sometime in the next week or so, just because I really do want to get myself there, I guess you could say. Because I really do want to build up that cushion for any days where I am just not feeling up to reading. Or where I'm feeling a little burnt out with manga and graphic novels. So far as what I'm looking at reading next for this challenge is, I've got a bunch of volume 1s that I want to try out. I only have another volume of one of these. This one I have one more volume of. But I want to try these and see if these are books that I'm going to unhaul or series that I'm going to pursue. So I've got My Androgynous Boyfriend, Volume 1. Volume 1 for Sweat and Soap. And then there's Volume 1 of Witch Hat Atelier. And then the first volume of Worokoi, Love is Hard for Otaku. Like I said, I have volumes 1 and 2 of this series, which is The Savior's Book Cafe, Story in Another World. This one, from what I understand, it has, I think, 6 volumes, and it's kind of divided into 2-volume sections. So that's why I ended up purchasing the first and second volumes. Plus, they happen to both be available on someone's Pango account. So that worked out for that. These are all manga that I picked up the first volumes to based on recommendations from other booktubers like Izzy from Happy for Now and Shay from Shay Geeks Out. And so And I've actually had these on my shelf for quite a while, so I'm really excited to dig into them and decide whether or not I'm going to pursue these series further or if I am unhauling them from my physical collection. But yeah, so that is where I am in the 30 and 30 challenge, and that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to, and let me know down in the comments if you are participating in 30 for 30, and if you are, what you are most excited about reading throughout the rest of the month. Talk to you later.
Stars shining bright above me. Night breezes seem to whisper sycamore tree. Dream a little dreamer.
Hello, Miss Nixie.
Oh. Oh.
Okay, Bobo. However,
Oh. Oh.
it's so awkward. So my next so yeah, my next
And I have been. It's the longest title.
so I've got my androgen and this, whether or not I'm going to pursue